Hello, President Chartrand.
That means I could say good morning.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. So I was in Kalawat. Good.
Oh, it was good, but it was very cold. It was like
Was
minus
it?
50 all week.
Are you serious?
I am serious. I'm like,
Wow.
oh, that is cold. And it's got like the wind with it. Yeah. David has said it was so cold that I went to warm up the truck and I thought it was like warmer to just sit in the truck and wait for it to get warm because it was too cold to run back to the hotel and come back.
Well, was it dark out there too? Was there a day? Is that because they go to a
They
certain
had
time?
they had daylight, but it would go down around 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's good you're safe and back home and back on the meaty hours. Good to see
Yes.
you. We missed you, of course. We're very pleased, of course, with having your representative there on your behalf, and she does a great job. And but clearly, it's good to hear your voice back on the show. And sometimes we get too attached to our regular people. We forget about how important they are. Like Ray.
Oh, he's listening right now.
Yeah, I miss her, and so when all he's there, she does a great job, and but again, people are accustomed to a certain sound and certain things already on the show, and then you got to take time to readjust. So we have to readjust. So
Yeah, I missed everyone too.
yeah, let me start off by saying a big hello to Richard, our minister, of course, Mr. Richard Janai, and his wife Belle. He's out in the Philippines right now listening to us. He just texted me.
Oh, awesome.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning over there, and so I hope you're getting all your spoils you can with your wife. He's trying to bring his wife home.
Mm-hmm.
They've been dating now and married, but now for 4 years. But he can't get a visa or her to get a pass to come to Canada. So it's been a challenge for him. So he's working on that and wants to bring his wife home. So, and anyways, but he's listening. He's really getting ready for, of course, his return. He's coming home February 9th. And we're now looking at the youth camp out in the Woodlands.
Right.
It can actually take up to 160, but that's a massive size of kids at one time. So we're actually doing some refurbishing. There's a swimming pool there, of course. Continue a vast amount of sport activities will be taking place there. Training. We're going to get experts to come in there and train our youth to whether it's in baseball or hockey or whatever field that they choose, including even curling in the winter. We're looking at different festivities that we can be working together and trying to get our youth truly ready. Ball hockey is another one. It's a quite important one that's taking off, and I know a lot of people here have played for Manitoba. But this youth camp, as I said, we're anticipating trying to get it ready. And then, of course, we'll work with the surrounding communities with their high school arenas and their school basketball courts. And we'll make our own basketball court, of course, there too. But again, we'll bring a lot of activity in that area. And also it'll ante up some of the extra money they'll be earning at the region. And that Woodlands, of course, is only a few minutes from Winnipeg, about 20 minutes. Once you get past the border and perimeter, it's about 20 minutes and 25 minutes the most. And you're in Woodlands. So, again, it'll be good for the community, good for the economy in that area. And we'll be buying a lot of our food and products and support from around that area to support businesses. So, again, Richard is at this file, and I'm sure he'll be actively ready when he gets home. I want to say some birthday stuff so I can get it past me and get to work. But this is part of work, but the real work that I do. So happy birthday is going out to Buggy Danielson, who actually celebrated his birthday at my house yesterday, February 1st. And that's for his cousins. And in fact, their mom, Janine, is actually in the hospital right now. She's Jeannie, I guess they call her basically. Go ahead and call her Auntie Jeannie. She's actually had to be transported by plane from Flint Lawn. She's going through some serious medical challenges right now at the hospital. So we wish her well, and our prayers go out to them. And I ask people out there, send prayers to the Danielson family. It's something that the sons right now are really quite worried about their mom, and they're very afraid if something goes the wrong way. So, but we have to trust the hospital and trust that they'll do their best. And there's a reason they shipped her from St. Lawn to Health Science Center. So get well, Jeannie, and hopefully your sons and everybody will be all express their joy when you return back home. Also, I want to say happy 29th birthday to Genevieve Benoit, who's celebrating her birthday on Friday, February 2nd. Happy 99th birthday going to Terry Somerset, one of the battlers of our nation, and it's always good to see her. And knowing that she's going to be 99 on February 4th.
Oh, wow.
99 years old. That's something I swear I know I'll never see. But she deserves it. She's been always scrapping and fighting for rights, and so I'm very, very, very proud of you, Terry. Happy, even at in her birthdays we celebrated in the 90s at the MMF, she was ready to talk politics all the time, so she's a scrapper, that one. Happy 23rd birthday is going to Tyson Pronto, Thomas Pronto's son, who's celebrating his birthday on Tuesday, February 2nd. And Thomas actually celebrating his birthday, is the father, his 44th birthday. He's celebrating on Friday, February 9th. So happy birthday to both the son and the father. Happy birthday is going to 76th birthday going to Minister Denise Thomas, who's celebrating her birthday on Friday, February 9th.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah, Denise actually was has been always active with the Federation, growing up as a child and growing up as a teenager, and then eventually became the politician. She's been on the cabinet in our government and executive longer than I am, by 2 years, I believe. So we've been in there for, I think, 30-something years. And so she's one of the diehards of our nation, and she's always been there to fight for our rights. And she's a close ally of mine. She works with me in land claims, and she's always fighting for our region, make sure that the region and our citizens get as much supports and benefits as possible. So happy birthday to Denise Thomas. I know your region loves you. Of course, we love you, and she is definitely one of our treasures. Also, happy 27th birthday going to Zach Carter and Zachary, they call him, but Zach is what we call him at the office. He's from the policy delivery unit. He's been a big asset to us ever since he came in. Young man, 27, but very sharp, and he works in the policy unit. He's actually involved with our my chief of staff, Al Benoit, who are negotiating and leading, along with Mark Leclerc, the land claim, and of course dealing on the treaty with all the lawyers. So he continues never. He misses work as soon as he gets home, I think, and wants to be right back at work. So happy 27th birthday going out to him. And I think he's getting married, so big kudos to him. I believe I better not be saying that. What if it's not? I thought him or maybe Dustin. Dustin, I know, is getting married. Happy 48th birthday going to Lisa Janai, my niece, who's celebrating her birthday on Wednesday, February 7th. I hope you get better. Lisa, of course, she's fighting right now, still fighting with diabetes and all the rest that comes with it. And I also want to get well wishes to my sister, who's fighting cancer with the Chartrand, and she's having a hard time, and her chemo right now is giving her hell of a beating, and so she's going. She just phoned me the other day and asked me if she can go to my house next door and get a chair that she likes, and I said, of course, we'll get the chair, and because she has a hard time getting herself out of the couch and on her hips once that chemo kicks in, I guess it's very hard on her. So wish her well, and Al, of course, so her husband will be right beside her all the time, taking care of him. And that's when you need family the most, when you're going through some difficult challenges like people fighting cancer and what they have to go through. I also take the opportunity to thank the RCMP and, of course, all those involved on I guess the message, never give up. And that was so powerful to hear they finally found the potential killer, I'll call it, I can't say killer, but I could say potential killer that murdered Crystal Saunders. And of course, that was a cold case. It was sitting there for, I think, 17 years. And the family had to go through wondering who had murdered their daughter and granddaughter and family member. And so it's truly been, 17 years of hell, to be honest with you, probably for the family, always looking and wondering what the answer was or would they ever be able to find. She was only 24 when she murdered. So, and I was very pleased that our minister, of course, spokeswoman for the City Women, and Eva Campbell and her team were at the announcement, and all the other people that showed up to show support to the family. It's a trying time, and that's why I think it's so important that we support the police so that they don't give up on cold cases like this. Yes, it's 17 years, but technology is getting sharper. And as you know, that there's a new addition to the DNA testing that was able to establish that potential murderer is Mr. Q, Kevin Q. So he's, of course, in charge, and we brought back, and we'll see what happens, of course, on the trial that will take place. So it's not over for the family just because they got the killer. There's the potential killer, or repeat themselves in case somebody decides to try to sue me for making a statement. Possible killer that Mr. Kevin Q has been charged with. And so the police probably have strong evidence why they're charging him. The DNA is showing that clearly he was involved in some fashion. But it's not over for the family because now there's a trial, and that could take on maybe 1 or 2 years. So there's a lot of time and anguish and struggle the family still has to go through. So we ask people to send prayers their way and support. Our government's going to be there to support the family in their needs. So we'll be making sure we're helping out during this time. And of course, as I said, it's not over now. We still got a trial to go through with the family. So, but the key issue there is that they never gave up on the family, and they were able to find the potential killer that was involved in taking their daughter's life and granddaughter's life and family members' life. And that goes with the missing and murdered Indigenous women and kids we see. You look at Jennifer out there, Tatchway, and you look at little Marcus. We got those billboards up already. There's 3 more being reviewed right now, billboards that will be potentially going up. As you know, we announced a couple of years ago, we put $1 million aside at the MMF, our own money. We put it aside to support missing and murdered Indigenous women and boys. And clearly we're trying to find out if there's any way even these billboards will help. I'm sure they will. It might trigger, somebody's memory, or might give somebody the boldness to come out. We put a $10,000 reward. So it's important that we recognize that we have to do our part as a Métis government, and it's not just for Métis women. We'll do it for First Nation women and other cultures. And but clearly we're more Indigenous focused. And this is not federal money; it's not provincial money; it's MMF money. And so we have the right to choose what we want to do. And our women and our women's spokesman has made it very clear, along with our Minister of Health, Francis Chartrand, and our cabinet made it very clear we're going to do our part to help these families that are hurting and struggling to find ways to hopefully bring their loved ones home. And of course, we pray for those that keep on searching and they never give up. And so proud of them. So again, that's good news we got this week, and
right.
To see that, as I said, the police never gave up. Also, on other matters, we're doing. We just hired some fundraisers. Michif is going to potentially be Michif Manor. So people say, "What's Michif Manor?" It doesn't describe. Everybody seems to know what Ronald McDonald House is, and that's where you have a place of apartments or boarding areas where people can go when their loved ones are in hospitals and need support. So Ronald McDonald House has been a charity program that's been around for some time with big support like McDonald's and others who have actually funded it and brought it into reality to help families during their tough times when their loved ones are in hospital. So we, of course, ventured into that direction. We know that the amount of people we struggle to try to help that are coming in to see doctor's appointments, dialysis, all the things that are located in the big urban centers. They got to leave the rural towns, and they need support because they'll need a driver sometimes. They need a loved one or family to come along. So it costs a lot of money for families. So we've been helping them with fuel and lodging and so forth. But Will Goodon, our minister, has been working very hard on getting the McChiff Manor up and built. Mm-hmm. It should be built and completed by September of this year. It's a big facility. It's right across on Notre Dame. And that's where our citizens can now be able to book a stay with their family when they come in and when their loved ones coming in for a stay at the hospital. So it's a great direction that our government has taken. And again, a lot of hard work has been put into this, and we raised the money to make sure we can develop this facility. And it's, of course, in the multi-millions of dollars to build. But at the end of the day, we know it's going to be so good for our people. It's going to take so much stress off our people when they already have enough stress to worry about their family or their loved ones. So good job, Minister Goodon. And then from there, it transfers to Minister Chartrand, who is in charge of health. And that will, of course, create the programs and facilities and furnishing and all the rest of it that will go into the Chief Manor. I think it's all, there's apartments, it's a big family for apartments, and then there's double queen beds and another one, other apartments. There's a variety of different sizes inside there. But again, it's a great stamp on the Métis government that we're taking care of our families when they need us most. So again, that's a great one. Another one that's coming up and it's so close, and I'm campaigning a little bit. Not campaigning, sorry, wrong word. I'm not campaigning. I got over 2 years, so sit my seat. I don't have to campaign yet. No, it's I'm promoting is the word I'm looking for. People to start actually looking at our campsite that's now completed and almost completed. I used the word completed, almost completed, but it will. It's so close to completion. Our clubhouse is going to be done now. And, we have a great manager out there. His name is Chris Brown, and he takes his job very, very seriously. He already has a pro shop. The golf course is ready. It's been open already. A lot of people are really, really admiring the golf course. It's got some of the best greens in the province of Manitoba. And the course is challenging itself. It's a 9-hole golf course. We're going to expand it to 3 more potentially. It's a 12-hole golf course. But the clubhouse is now near completion. Of course, it's going to have a sports bar, and it'll eventually have a few slot machines in it and a few other. But it's going to be for dining, fine dining. I think Chris and them have hired a Red Seal chef.
Nice.
And, so people will definitely around the surrounding area want a good meal, a good prime rib, or a good steak, or a good meal. Head down to the clubhouse, and that's going to be grand opening. We should be happening very soon. I texted Chris a while ago, and he said it's been almost there. He sent me some pictures, and Naomi, it is stunning, beautiful inside there.
Wow, I can't wait.
I'm telling you, I can't wait to get down there myself to have a meal and drive down there and have a nice meal and a nice game of golf. But what's really going to be, I think, the selling point of that area, we're building 150 campsites for RVs. All your campers, and the direct water and sewer hookups. So they'll go there with your camper. You could lease a lot, and you leave your camper there. And of course, we have it fenced and protected. But you just connect your RV and right to the sewer and water connection, right to the pipes that'll be there, and you're just like you're at home. And so you flush your toilet, you don't worry. It goes right directly out to the lagoon, and you don't worry about having a septic tank or anything of that nature. So,
right.
So it costs us more money, but we want to make sure we can put as best convenience. Now, I really commend Chris and the team out there. There's artesian water that we get there, right, fresh spring water, and it really expanded the ponds. And of course, we got construction work done right from our local Métis citizens out there, and we've done a fantastic job of building these ponds and extending the ponds and the walkways and benches. You can sit down to walk and listen to the birds or watch the birds and different animals. And it is just going to be something. So if you have an RV, anybody listening, you better phone in there. Chris will do everything he can to help you. Choose your campsite. And then, of course, as I said, sign a lease, and you'll be there. And I don't know the prices. I can't talk about them in the show. I don't know them offhand right now, and they're working on those. But that will tell you don't have to worry about your RV. You'll have now a place to go with your family, and then you have a top-end restaurant right in front of you. You have a golf course in front of you, and of course, St. Laurent's got a beautiful Lake Manitoba in front of them, and there's beaches there. You can go swimming, and there's so much things to do around there. So those RV camps should be ready. I think there's going to starting off with 70 of them. So they're going to go fast. You'll see they'll be rented out very quickly. So if you have a place you've been thinking about finding a good place to go, that's where you go, Chartrand. And again, Chris will be there to serve you. On the other matters that I'm actually heading to Ottawa next week. There's some discussions that we're having with the government of Canada. Red Skirt Day is one of them, and of course they're talking about missing and murdered Indigenous women. So we'll be proud of the Métis government to talk about our $1 million that's available to all, and to showcase that we really believe in what we're doing. Of course, we also purchased this beautiful message from an artisan who's actually a Métis citizen who's out in I believe in Paris right now. I think it's Paris, in a school of what do you call that when you're doing developing designs and clothing designs, and there must be a name for that kind of course. I guess nobody's helping me.
Like fashion designing, or
yeah, she's a fashion designer.
Okay,
yeah, that's what she's built. Like she made a skirt, which she compiled all of the missing women that she was able to extract from the news and different information centers, and she made us a dress with hundreds and hundreds of names of missing and murdered women.
Oh,
and
right.
She really showed this dress of its hardship. It's dirty in the bottom, like it's grayish looking in the bottom to show you it's dragging through the mud for those that may be murdered or buried.
Right.
It's such a powerful message. We were all in awe when we saw it, and we were able to get it off and buy it from her so we can put it. That'll go in our Heritage Center's story, continue to, because this missing and murdered woman is not a one-year event. This is decades and decades of work yet to be done.
Yes.
And a good example, if you look at the I'm just moving my paper around. You look at the different, what is Jennifer Catchway, for example, the parents never give up.
Right.
And so, I applaud that family. I applaud the husband and wife, the mother and father. They never give up. They keep on searching. They want to bring her home. And I pray to God that one day somebody will actually tell where this body lies. And we all know the body somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I hope one day they have peace and bring home. It's like Crystal. They never gave up. And now, 17 years later, they know that who potentially is the murderer, and that they can have some peace in their life. So that's why this missing and murdered Indigenous woman file will not go away, and we need to be part of that as we move forward. So also, we're meeting with health. We're pushing health very strongly. Since the Daniel decision in 2016, Supreme Court decision said to Canada, you have a responsibility for Métis health also, including Métis citizens and in general for our supports. And right now they have not moved on that agenda. We've met with our lawyers on Friday. We're looking at going to human rights. We're also looking at fighting in the charter that this government, federally, unfortunately, at this point in time, although they're talking about it, about Métis health legislation, how much longer do we have to wait? So we're going to be putting them on notice that we need to act on this sooner and later. Our people are dying, our people are sick, and we need to find ways to resolve it. We pay taxes like any other Canadian in this country, and we pay in the billions in Western Canada, the totality of our contribution to help the budgets of Canada. So it's time they start treating us with some respect and properly deal with it. Also had a very good meeting with the chiefs, Interlake Tribal Chiefs, and I'm very pleased to say I was at their office on Edinburgh. I had a very good meeting with all the chiefs. It was good, very good discussion. I talked about a variety of stuff. I talked about our steel frame housing we're working on. We've been doing that for about 5 years now, and we built over 10 steel frame houses, and now we just finished off 3 duplex ones in DePaul, and they're all steel frame. And we're doing testing on their heating costs, and doing testing on their guaranteed no mold, and also the fire resistance and all the rest of it. And they're proving to come out with some very strong numbers, and unfortunately they're recording to be better than wood. And so we're looking at a future development in that side, and I express that I'd be willing to support and work with the First Nations and work on this initiative with them. And at the same time, you hear about these house fires that are happening on reserve, and they happen so quick because they're wood house, frame houses. So we get steel frame, we can find ways the fire could happen, but it'll take a long, long time before it actually can go into full cycle of a fire. So again, this has saved lives and it's even cheaper than wood frame. So we had a very good meeting. We talked about natural resources. We talked about harvesting. We talked about working together on fisheries, looking at the vision. We talked about Lake St. Martin. Of course, the diversion that we're all concerned. Our big concern in the Métis Federation right now is that we're not saying we're opposed to the diversion. What we're opposed to is connecting Lake Manitoba to Lake Winnipeg to different means. And we're talking a massive length. It's about, I think about 40 miles, I'll use that number. And it's about, I'd say 300, 400 feet wide or maybe more. And at the same time, you're going to now have 2 lakes. Lake Manitoba is higher in sea level, so the water will go down towards Lake Winnipeg. But you're also going to open the potential of the different species of fish coming in, which, for example, jackfish, everybody knows our language here at home, and Métis people, First Nation people. So jackfish, if you have a dominant jackfish population, they can eat up all your pickerel. So then it hurts your fishermen at the end. So we don't find ways to make sure there's precautions and preventions, then we could definitely hurt the fishing industry in 5, 10, 20 years from now.
Right.
So I'm looking towards the future, and I push that hard, and I express that to the Interlake Tribal Council. I will work with them on this issue, and I think it's a serious issue. We got to take it very seriously, and we got to find ways to make sure we're protecting our fishermen. Mm-hmm. Not only today, I'm talking about the future of ongoing. Also, don't forget Lou Riel Day is coming up. That's going to happen on February. Where is my calendar here? My wife's going to sit here and help me somewhere. February 19th. There it is. February 19th. I don't want to say the wrong day. Blue Rail Day is coming soon on Monday, February 19th. That's taking place, of course, across not just Manitoba. And it's going to be a very powerful day for us. There's a big event happening for us. let's not forget what the new Premier Waptinu has done already in the past legislation. That L'Oreal is the first Premier. As you all heard me in the news, I'm planning to take that legislation on L'Oreal Day and with WAB on my side, taking it to the great site of L'Oreal and putting that powerful message that Riel said one day. I hope that people recognize me for more than just being the leader of the half-breed and really recognize me for being the leader of what I was. And of course, it's more nicer in that language. I'm just quoting quickly off the top of my head. But again, it's such a powerful thing that Riel had said and visioned that one day the people will recognize him for what he truly was, the premier of this province and the leader of the West. And so he will be recognized as the first premier. Now it's done. We'll walk together, as I did with the land claim when I won the land claim in 2013. I took that land claim from the Supreme Court of Canada, from Ottawa, all the way back home, and I put it in a little red rubber cart in front of his grave, and said we've never given up on his dream and the promises that this country made for him, and we never will. So then from there, this is at the we're going to at 1 o'clock. We're going to do the we're at the gravesite. Then we're moving from there. We're going to the ledge where the new plaque will be placed on his picture, along with other premiers, and that's going to take place. I don't know the exact time. I know 11 o'clock is we'll hang the picture and new plaque at 11 o'clock. Okay, now they're giving me different times there. Okay, and then when is the time at the gravesite? Is it 1 o'clock? Gravesite open to the public will be at 1 o'clock live stream. Okay, now they're showing me numbers. I apologize earlier. I'm going on here and I'm trying to look at numbers and words. 11 o'clock will be the hanging of the picture, so that's where our cabinet will head to. They'll hang the picture, and in the future, of course, when you do a tour of the ledge inside, you'll see all the premiers on one side of the wall. And we were able to get, I think it was Gary Dewar under his leadership, we were able to get, or was it Greg? I think it was Gary. We actually convinced Gary to put premier, our first premier, which was not called first premier, but we were allowed to put his picture beside that our premiers without truly the proper title. Now the proper title, of course, will be put on. I'll be there along with Rob to unveil it, and the first premier of Manitoba. So that's going to be a proud historical day for us.
Wow, no kidding.
That's like from 1870 on. It's 154 years in the waiting. So then we're going to go to take the to the gravesite at 1 o'clock to put the legislation that was passed in the Royal Assent and put it in the red rubber cart in front of Riel's grave. And again, thank him for all he's done for us and everything that he's fought for and everything he gave his life for. So, at the end of the day, they, of course, murdered him in this country. Now, there's also a lot of our locals are putting stuff on at the same time across, and I want to thank all those locals that are active on that, getting involved and doing the different day activities that truly promote the great pride we have as a Métis culture, and at the same time to showcase our great respect to L'Oreal. And I'll give you an example. Parview local is hosting a family and fun day with live entertainment, skating, sledding. I don't know about sledding. There will be no snow. The temperature, the way it's going.
Right.
Silent auction, 50-50. Draw lots of good fun, food and games for youth. Fireworks at the end of the day. So check out Parview local Facebook and you'll see all that information. So again, kudos to Raymond Goran and the rest of the team at Parview. I look forward to locals coming in with their reports of what they're doing throughout L'Oreal Day. But I guarantee you right now there's a lot of pride out there. They know it's coming up. They know this day is finally here. A lot of families have fought for this along side by side with me. And my wife has stood beside me on that issue, side by side. We had the dream. We talked about it at home so many different times. One day we'll get it. And there's actually a commercial, national commercial in our pride going out. And you'll see me speaking in Ottawa in I believe, in 2020 where we celebrated Winterlude. And I talked about this first premier thing. And I said, we don't have it yet, but we're going to get it. So so you can see I did that. We're never giving up on this. I never give up in 30 years on this fight. So, but it's clearly a good one, and I look forward to that happening, and it's something we're going to be so proud of. But there's clearly, as I said, a lot of things that the Federation is going through right now, and I could go on and on, but I'll stop there. And I want to say again, Auntie Jeannie is listening, and Gloria gives a big hug from me and Glor and Derek and Buggy at the Alpine Center, and are asking our citizens throughout the province, all of our people that's listening outside of our homeland, including Richard out in the Philippines, send your prayers to the Danielson family to get Jeannie well so she can get home. And as a hardworking woman, we're still working today. She should be retired, but she's still working, and as part of her DNA, she's a workaholic, and then I think that's what got her sick. So again, get better, Jeannie, and the family love waiting for you to come home back to Cranberry.
Yeah.
And in Flin Flon, she lives in Flin Flon, but actually her family comes visiting from Cranberry. So with that being said, I'll say goodbye to everybody, and if I missed anything, I apologize. There's a whole whack of sheets in front of me here. There's so much going on at the Federation. I can't. If I had to report on what we're doing, they'd have to have a 10-hour show, or no, sorry, a 10-month show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we'll talk to you. Thanks, and good you made it home safe. Thank you again, Cowboys, for finding me, and to all our elders out there, thank you again for your leadership and your guidance, and to our youth, keep on being proud. Be proud of where we Métis, and always remember we will fight for and protect our identification. We will not let nobody steal our identity. So take care, everybody. We'll talk to you next Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.